Sweet. Welcome back to my podcast. So today will be about rejection and the trauma that comes with it. So, what is rejection? Rejection is when you get uh, people say no to you, or situation doesn't go your way, and yeah, and the trauma that comes with it. So let's talk about that. And I'm just gonna go through my list of notes here, and yeah, bear with me. And let's start from the beginning. With my experience and how I dealt with rejection and the trauma that comes with it, and we're gonna elaborate on stuff on how you can deal with it as well from my own experience. So yeah, bear with me and let's go with it. So let's start from the beginning. So from like my high school years, back in the days, being around like 14, 13, I suggested like go and ask like these chicks at school and see what I get. And there was like five different girls I asked that day to be my girlfriend, but all of them say no. But it was only for fun, right? And then eventually, like as I got older and started like develop feelings for people, and those feelings got rejected. And when your feelings get rejected, you take a step back and I start to like doubt myself of my worth and my self-esteem was low because of a lot of things that went through my head at that point of my life. Like, am I too little? Am I too short? What am I lacking? Like that I don't have that they like, and all that rejection gave me those doubts of myself that I'm not good enough for them. And I never thought about improving it since I didn't know what was the problem. But back then I was still young, so you never know what was the problem back then, and you just give yourself all these self doubts to lower your self esteem, and it's not really a good way to deal with rejection, and that's the trauma that comes with it. You just lower your self worth as you get older to become like an adult, and all that stuff that we go through in our young teen comes with us as well. That's traumas. So eventually, like as you get older, you go around in different like situations, asking different people, like getting to know and all that stuff, and your mental health just like go down the drain. Like especially like the dating scenes where people say no to you, and all that little like flashback back in the days, in my teenage year, that says you're not good enough, like you're lacking something, like what am I doing? So eventually, like hitting the gym and building those confidence up for your image and your mental health, which I went through, and it helped a lot of stepping out again and asking people, and still having that in my mind, back of my head of being scared of getting rejected, and still try, ask people out, getting rejected. Went back to that little hole, be like, oh, what did I do wrong? What am I lacking again? But eventually, like as we get older, we be like, maybe it's just not me. Maybe it's their preferences. Maybe people are just people, and what can I take no for an answer? But it's good to like have all this rejection to go back and reflect on yourself to why you weren't good enough for that person or that situation. And there will be people that will like you and hate, that will like you and don't like you, and that's all matter, and that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. And um, sometimes we are scared of hearing people say no to us. That's why we don't tend to like go and step out of our comfort zone and go ask people, or go be like, hey, do you want to hang out, or you want to do this, do that, we're just gonna get rejected. When that trauma keep us all the doubt and our worth and whatever we've been through, and it does hurt emotionally and mentally. But once you've figured out how to cope and deal with that trauma of getting rejected, um, you just gotta keep repeating that it's not your fault. Like it's not you. You gotta look into yourself into the mirror and speak to you calmly every day and say that this is who I am. People are not rejecting me, and you just gotta repeat that to yourself. You just gotta repeat that they have their own preference or they have their own problems to deal with, and you just gotta make sure that the world doesn't resolve around you, which is why we have all the self doubt, thinking that we are important to those people or to those certain things in life, which we really are not when people say no to us. Or maybe that's how I think, but like give me some comment if you think that it is how I think, because I'm open to any sort of suggestion, and yeah, I'm okay with anything, so I can talk about it more. And the more we practice of getting rejected, we get better of dealing with it as well. And we can just like be like, oh yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes things happen for a reason. Maybe people say no because it happens for a reason, and we can't do anything about it. We're just gonna move on onto better things and deal with what we are feeling at that moment. Deal it for like 5 minutes. Be like, oh, what the deal with it like, oh man, what can I do better from this time? Instead of saying, fuck, there's something wrong with me. Well, you can say that. You can say, oh, maybe this is wrong with me. Maybe how you say certain words to certain people, and it could be the way that you approach a situation or certain person of getting rejected. And yeah, it could be like plenty of factors that we do get ourselves in to get rejected. And every accent and every sort of like energy will define your answer from whatever you're trying to do, or whatever answer you're trying to get from somebody or a situation. And yeah, rejection trauma is very hard, especially when you try to let go of it, of rejection of every time you do something, and you can't just accept no, like because no can be hard to take, and nobody teach you like this as a kid, say no to you. But once you like realize and learn how to like accept people saying no, you become a better person. You can take no for an answer and just move on. Easier said than done, but practice of getting rejected, and that's how you get stronger, get over that trauma. If you are like aware of what you're doing with your life and self-improvement and self-growth, if you are like heading towards that way, you will realize that, okay, I need to like do this to improve, to make me get out of this sort of like mindset of getting rejected. So yeah, that's pretty much what I've got for today. If you guys got any comment or any sort of like issues that you guys want to bring upon about the topic rejection and the trauma that we get after rejection, leave the comment and let me know so I can re-evaluate these podcasts and episode and just talk about it more in the future and keep getting better with my podcast and educate people and help people around the world as well. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys, and yeah, thanks for today.